Hello, everybody. It's great to be here one more time today. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the CEO, president, and founder of GSD, Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17-time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an HR tech company that I co-founded with Dr. David Yang. In fact, this was unsupervised AI. Today, generative AI, if you know, pre-transformer models in 2016. Anyhow, with that, I'd like to introduce my incredible guest. Vladimer Botsvadze is a serial entrepreneur. He's a speaker. He's with the United States Artificial Intelligence Association. He's been a mentor at places like Techstars, and he speaks all over the world about making a little dent in the universe and how technology can change our lives. So with that, I'd like to meet Vladimer. Hi, Vladimer.
Hi, Gary. Thanks for this invitation. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about it. You do a lot of speaking engagements around the world. Now, how many do you do on a yearly basis?
Yeah, I mean, when you Google, for example, digital marketing keynote speaker, my website, vladimerbotsvadze.com, is ranked #1 speaker website in the world,
Wow, that's great. And
yeah,
how did you get to be #1, Vladimer?
It was personal branding, patience, long-term thinking, lifelong learning, empathy, active listening, and to reinvent yourself every single week, every single month. So my efforts have performed miracles, and I'm very honored to be at the forefront because I have bootstrapped my business. I'm now at the vanguard of marketing excellence. So now my results speak for themselves,
And so, what kind of speaking engagements are you doing on a yearly basis?
Well, I have been a guest on more than 50 podcasts. I have been speaking at global events. For example, AI Speakers Agency in the UK recognized me amongst the world's top 21 artificial intelligence speakers in 2024. I won so many speaking awards. And, for example, yesterday I was a guest on e-marketing association podcast in New York City. A week ago, I was a guest on CXO digital podcast that is run by Techstars. So I think I have been. I have truly fast-tracked my success for the best possible results. And so if I earn someone's trust on podcast, I'm also earning Google's trust. So I don't need to work on SEO because it's all about earning trust, building reputation, building authority, and being patient and to do what you love. Because I believe that the bridge between dream and reality is hard work and persistence. So you have to go into overdrive and to do what you love.
No, that's fantastic. And so, so where were you born originally? Where are you originally from?
Georgia. As you know, I was in summer exchange program. I moved to the United States. I lived in New York, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland. Then I moved to London at the age of 22 in 2009. Then I was in Dubai. I attended some conferences. I built my personal brand. I have built up my following social media channels. And then I won awards. I started judging awards. I'm now a judge at the Webby Awards and an associate member of International Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences. And also I mentor students and MBA students and startups and entrepreneurs at UCLA Anderson School of Management Startup Accelerator, also UCL Enterprise Innovation. I'm also at Techstars Founder Catalyst in Saudi Arabia. Also, I'm at Techstars in Detroit, which is sponsored by JP Morgan. I contribute to Abu Dhabi SME Hub as a mentor. So I also, well, as you know, I constantly reinvent myself. And in the last 4 years, I have been focused on building my speaking portfolio. I have so many great clients now. I'm now invited as a speaker to University of Edinburgh Business School. And I'm also on the verge of lecturing at top business schools in Europe, And so I'm very honored that brick by brick, with patience, persistence, reinvesting my last dollar into my website, I have truly I have taken my success to the next level.
That's fantastic. And how is it? How do you like it?
Yeah, I like it because when you don't keep up with Jonases, it's in your early 30s, and when you are single-minded regarding building your career, building your personal brand, and also all these ventures that I'm involved in, mentoring Techstars, and I take so much responsibility to share my actionable and award-winning and high impact marketing tips and advice with startup owners. I think, Gary, it's all about connecting with consumers, building community. I think only a few brands epitomize emotions and marketing excellence. For example, Harley Davidson, and also Starbucks, and also Nike, and also I admire, for example, Emily Glossier. If you know a cosmetic brand, Emily Weiss, who co-founded cosmetic brand Glossier.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm sure my wife knows though. She
Yeah,
knows a lot of
Glossier.
those
I mean,
brands.
Glossier is a fantastic brand because she started building, this $1 billion brand through blogging. So
Wow,
she was
that's
treating.
how powerful is it to use blogging? By the way,
It's
how
powerful. It's powerful. So I think that you can build a community through blogging, through active bringing people together on social, on Twitter, and I think Twitter is a last bastion of social interaction, because other social media networks prioritize content. So X, for formerly Twitter, is only platform where conversation happens. You can jump into any conversations and build meaningful relationships with renowned people. So I think that majority of tech leaders use X, and I think I have benefited, and so many people benefited, and they built multi-billion-dollar businesses, startups, through networking and all this stuff. So I think that anyone can strike while the iron is hot, and make hay while the sun shines, to connect, to show gratitude. I embarked on my journey with a single tweet, with a single video. I was not. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I did not have this luxury. To attend, to have this Ivy League education, or even to. I never had this opportunity to consult at Boston Consulting Group, or McKinsey and Company. But I think that what I reinvented my career through networking, and I think when there is a will, there is a way. In this day and age, what is amazing power of social media, Gary, is that the power from media companies, advertising agencies, and the big corporation has shifted dramatically to human beings. So nowadays anyone can create content. Internet does not care where you come from, what is your background, what is your education. If you truly take massive action, results will come.
Well, it sounds like you really enjoy it. So, what do you do for fun?
Well, for fun, it depends. I love playing football. I love playing golf. I love climbing. I love playing tennis. So I try to find some level of work-life balance in my at my age, because it's very important. And but I'm very honored that I have worked 16 hours a day in the last 15 years, and all my results speak for themselves, because when you check out global gurus, top 30 internet marketing gurus, I'm ranked number 3 internet marketing guru, and number 1 is James Clear.
Wow, that's
And
great. And
number 2
can you make a
number
living
2
speaking?
Gary, number 2 is Neil Patel, and number 4 is Gary Vaynerchuk.
Wow,
And I'm
that's
number
great.
3. I'm
And
number
so,
3.
you got now. Can you make a living doing speaking engagements?
Yeah, I have been now say finally started paying me as a speaker. I know, because I have spoken at top 20 conferences for free. That is how I built my um, uh, foundation. So I think that it's fantastic where I stand in 2024 through doing what I love and being passionate about marketing, you know.
And how does somebody get involved in it, Vladimir? Give somebody a tip so that we got startups all over the world looking at, developing brand name recognition for themselves or the company. How do they get started?
Well, I think the best way is to put your eggs into different baskets and to create great content, to create educational content, enlightening, informative content, because majority are oriented on sales, but it's all about providing value. So, Gary, whoever understands a lifetime value and retention truly build huge communities. You know what Peter Drucker said about marketing. Marketing is all about creating customers and retaining customers, right? So nowadays, in the digital age, if you want to become an influencer, it's all about winning attention and retaining attention. Retaining is very important.
Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you continually get attention to get the visibility? What do you need to do?
It's all about remaining relevant as a marketer, remaining relevant, pushing self-education, lifelong learning, curiosity, because everyone puts curiosity on a pedestal in the United States. So when there is a will, there is a way, right?
Well, I mean, the thing is, you hear there's so many great opportunities out there, but very few people ever have a chance, Vladimir, to do the kind of things you're doing and get out there around the world. And what's the most interesting speaking engagements you've ever had?
I spoke at a global marketing summit in 2022, where I'm listed as a speaker alongside Professor Philip Kotler. I received the certificate of appreciation from the event organizer, and I think my presentation was watched by more than 50,000 people in more than 100 countries. So my speech truly delivered and performed miracles, and so it's all about providing actionable insights, Gary, because so many speakers are focused on strategies that worked 20 and 30 years ago, and everything is changing like grease lightning. What worked last year no longer works in 2024. So I think it's all about exploring new strategies,
Tell us about the strategies. What kind of strategies, though? Give them some of the secrets. What do they need
it's all about to be relevant and to put your.
But how do you get to be relevant? What do you need to do to be relevant?
Well, to be relevant, I think you need to constantly improve your knowledge when it comes to digital marketing, because active daily learning is everything in marketing, and you need to learn actively daily and to be curious and to be in the listening business, because many people are interested in talking. It's all about listening. You need to listen to your audience, and to improve your service based on the feedback of your audience, So I think that whoever is closest to audience always wins,
What does that mean, being closest?
Closest, I mean to interact with your audience and to provide value, and because a satisfied customer has been the bedrock of my growth, right? Because nowadays I no longer tell my story. My audiences tell my stories, So I think that even in marketing, two-thirds of marketing has been happening without us, because word of mouth marketing is what builds your business, word of mouth marketing. So a satisfied customer has been the backbone of my business. And trust in businesses, brands, and advertising has decreased 15 years in a row. Who do we trust? We trust our friends, we trust our neighbors, we trust our colleagues, we trust our family members. We no longer trust advertising, So it's a human connection is everything, Gary, in this day and age. As for example, Elon Musk has always communicated with Tesla's owners, whereas the competitors still continue to depend on backward-looking advertising. I think, and Tesla does not have an advertising department, so Tesla has higher market value than the rest of traditional automakers because personal connection, So
Wait a minute,
whoever,
they don't have an advertising department?
no.
Now, how in the world do they get their word out then? What's the way to
It's
do
all
it,
about
Vladimir?
personal branding, Gary. Personal branding is everything,
Yeah, no, I hear you. And so Elon Musk does a hell of a job personal branding. I mean, he's everywhere. Every day I hear something about him.
Yeah. He loves to hit the nail on the head, right?
Yeah, I think he's right on target with it all the time. He's
Yeah. So I think
controversial. He's
yes.
wild. He's smart. He's successful. I mean, he taps all the right kind of buttons. He knows exactly what's going on. That's for sure. So how do you do it? So you grew up in Georgia. You spent time in the U.S. You went to university in Georgia, right? But how do you go down through? And what was the first step you did in saying, I want to start doing marketing and I want to be well known worldwide?
Well, I started turning the tables in 2014 when I started tweeting actively, and when I was publishing content, And in 2015, I won first award when I was ranked number 65 global marketing influencer by Analytica. Then it has had a ripple effect on my journey. Then I won other two awards, 2017, 2018. 2020, I became number one global marketing thought leader by Thinkers 360. Then I started serving on the judging panel for Digital Revolution Awards in the UK. So then I became a judge at Webby Awards, and I started advising board in the United States. I currently serve on the advisory board of the United States AI Institute, Data Science Institute, and Cybersecurity Institute. I also serve on the advisory council of Harvard Business Review, and also Techstars. I became a mentor at Techstars, Plug and Play Tech Center, Abu Dhabi SME Hub, Seedstars. I'm at Seedstars as well. Also UCLA Anderson School of Management, UCL Enterprise Innovation. I'm also a career mentor at the University of Westminster. And I also work with several speakers bureaus throughout the world, and I cover interesting topics such as personal branding, customer experience, creating something from nothing, and also top five lessons from Amazon every business should learn. Also, importance of social media and digital transformation for business growth. Artificial intelligence, generative AI, Web3, the metaverse. So I cover emerging technology trends. So I think my talks resonate with my audiences. So I'm very honored to be at the forefront of marketing speaking well.
How do you go down through? You go down through and you look at it. What's hot right now, Vladimir? AI obviously is hot and people are talking about, and you hear about GPUs, you hear about quantum computing, but what's really hot?
Well, it's a great question. I think generative AI, because 41% of code on GitHub has been written by generative AI. Gary, 41% of code on GitHub has been written by generative AI. Just imagine, it is a tip of the iceberg. People are able to see the handwriting on the wall, and so coders, marketers, bloggers, copywriters are being replaced by generative AI.
No, I agree. And the thing is that it can give you superpowers, right? You can get out there and do incredible kind of things.
So yes, it's much easier nowadays to create better content. And even it is very dismal and gloomy that higher education is blocking ChatGPT and generative AI, because they live in their ivory towers. I'm very sorry, but they do. So I think the only solution is to what Jeff Bezos said, right? If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you are going to double your inventiveness, right? So it is very important to take more experiments, to be open-minded, to listen to your consumers, and to be close to your audience.
Oh no, I agree 100%. But if you're not close to your audience,
so Gary, Gary, if I'm a marketer and if I build my personal brand and if I have an emotional attachment to the world, I will not be replaced by generative AI. I will still be in high demand, sought after, and the world will continue to pick my brains. But if I'm a marketer and I never build my personal brand and the world is not aware of my name, I will be replaced by generative AI because I don't I'm not in the spotlight. I don't make myself conspicuous, and literally the world does not know me. But so awareness is everything. If you it is all about being known versus not being known.
No, I agree. I mean, the thing is, and most people that are out there don't really understand how important the value of the media is, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to get out there, right? You're
Yeah, it
saying
doesn't
about
cost a lot because
ChatGPT.
Gary, social media, it is a reactionary business. It's all about listen and respond. But
Right.
majority brands use social media as a broadcasting platform. They are pushing their message. It's all about communicating. But I think that brands are scared of communicating with their consumers, and 52% of brands have disappeared on the Fortune 500 list since 2000. 52%. What does it mean? That they were living in ivory towers for 20 years. They totally disregarded this fourth industrial revolution. They disregarded consumers, and they continued to depend on backward-looking advertising like Blockbuster and Nokia and BlackBerry that lost market share, and they are no longer dominant.
No, that's right. And but then you get Netflix that used to do the thing in discs in stores, and now look at them now. They're dominating the planet because you can pivot and you can make a difference, right?
Yeah.
And
So as they say in retail, convenience wins all the time, right? Convenience
right.
wins all the time. Yes. So also in business, in other areas, convenience is decisive. Convenience. So Gary, just imagine that we are in the streaming economy nowadays. We watch Netflix, we watch no ads. We listen to Spotify, we listen to no ads. We Disney Plus, no ads. Amazon Prime, no ads. Then we listen to audiobooks and no ads. Consumers have ad blockers. 1 out of 3 consumers has ad blockers in the United States. Content creation is everything. There is a battle going on among the brands to win consumers' attention and retaining. But majority brands struggle with retaining attention because they put all their resources into winning attention. But retaining is everything. Be all and end all.
No, I agree
Retaining.
because it costs too much to acquire the customers, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes
So
we forget and how hard it
yeah.
is to
So
acquire the customers.
I was invited as a judge to the Webby Awards last year, and I judged more than the top 50 most influential podcasts in the United States last year. So I can see what is going on in the United States because advertising no longer provides positive ROI, and $200 billion are being wasted annually on advertising. $200 billion.
That's
So
unbelievable.
incredible. And so I think collaborating with influencers is one of the keys to success. Creating content, building a personal brand, because the personal brand has become the brand.
Well, how important is that?
It's important, Gary. It's all about being transparent and to share your company product updates with consumers and to build trust. Right? So
Are consumers, do consumers look at, I mean, I look at YouTube a lot. I like YouTube. It's just, I get a lot of my news. I actually don't have TV anymore. I just look at YouTube and the news online. But do you think because, you go out there and you have all these different ways of getting information, you could actually it could be tweaked from a marketing perspective so it really gets you excited about marketing. You could actually tweak the podcast. You could tweak them down to a very hyper personalized level. Do you see that happening? Are we starting to use things like like the video right now, right? Are people starting to use that as the way that they're getting to their customers?
Yeah, so there are 8.1 billion people in the world. 5.6 billion mobile users, 5.3 billion internet users, and 5.1 billion social media users, And the question nowadays is, if you don't have a personal brand, how do you stand out in this digital, noisy global marketplace? So we lived in times that dominated by lawyers, doctors, and engineers. Now we live in a time dominated by influencers, content creators, and coders. So I'm sorry that lawyers, doctors, and engineers no longer dominate in the digital age, but people who create content, they do dominate.
No,
People
I
who
agree.
create
I mean, now it's a totally different thing, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to be around the world all the time. It's amazing. So we're coming to the top of the show, Vladimir. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's always good to seeing you. How do you go down through? What are the words of wisdom for those companies out there that are looking to get global brand name recognition? What are 3 steps that you think that they should do in order to become like yourself, world renowned?
I think it's very important to have the feedback loop. It's very important to push experiments in marketing, and it's all about creating great content. Because creating content along with OTT are the most dominant consumption tools in our society. Content creation and OTT. So
Yeah.
it's all about showing your heart, showing your face, showing your smile.
No, that's right. You're right. And making people feel good. We got to have some happiness on this planet, right? A little
Yeah,
happiness
so I
goes
think
a long
I
way.
think it is easiest time in the history of mankind, of business, to be successful, to create great content, because this power has shifted from big media companies to human beings. It is incredible opportunity, because when I was a student 20 years ago, I did not have this luxury to connect with the world, but now I can connect with the world. I can make meaningful connections. I can tell my story. I can capitalize on social media channels to drive my results. So open-minded entrepreneurs are building multi-billion-dollar businesses through content creation, social media, and now TikTok stars are next Hollywood stars.
Yeah, you're right. It's amazing, actually. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, Vladimir. It's always great to see you. It's always great to have all my audience here. We're now at over 930 podcasts. We've written 300 articles, and we're out there for you to be able to bring people that have outstanding capabilities from around the world to your doorstep. People with astounding capabilities so you can listen to them on your podcast in your car. And people out there that can give you that little grain of wisdom that's going to help you change your life.
Just imagine, Gary, there are 5 million podcasts globally and 70 million episodes. Podcast industry is currently worth $23 billion, and more than 500 million podcasts listen globally. And 100 million Americans listen in the United States, and average American listens to 8 podcasts per week, every week. So Spotify is the most dominant podcast platform. So it is the best way nowadays to build trust and to connect with your prospective consumers, right?
That's right. And that's why we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Google Play, we're all over the place, Anchor FM. Anyhow, thanks again for taking time out of your busy schedule. Thanks to all of you for joining one more time. GSD presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm your host. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. And I'll be back to you again on Thursday with another exciting edition. Thanks, Vladimir.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.